Mitigating the impact of floods in Lagos and the 30 other states predicted to experience unprecedented flooding in Nigeria presents a multifaceted challenge that requires a comprehensive approach that includes integrating infrastructural development, community resilience, and proactive disaster management strategies. Lagos, as a rapidly growing megacity and economic hub, faces recurrent flooding due to a combination of factors, including poor drainage systems, urbanization without adequate planning, and the impacts of climate change. Addressing these issues is crucial, not only to protect lives and livelihoods, but also to sustain the city's economic growth and social stability. These are some of the salient issues we shall be x-raying on Panorama. Remember, you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. I am Adeola Komiakere. Thanks for joining us. We will be back. The Senate Committee on Finance has met with heads of key ministries and agencies of government as it seeks more effective strategy to revamp the economy. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Meeting between the legislature and executive is crucial, as both are determined to formulate and inject right prescription to put Nigeria's economy on a steady growth trajectory. The Chief Executive Officer of NNPC Limited brought with him some good news. Nigeria's main revenue-earning commodity, the crude oil, is set to hit 2 million barrels per day production level.
We're very optimistic that by December this country will be net exporter. That means combination of production coming from us and also from the Dangote refinery and other smaller producing companies that we know are in line to do this.
I've come to realize that the easiest way for Nigeria to come out of its economic problems is through the oil and gas sector.
The custodian of the nation's treasury, the Central Bank of Nigeria, points to rising inflation and foreign exchange rate fluctuations as areas of concern, but that these two, according to emerging indicators, will be moving downwards.
We cannot delink ourselves from the larger global economy, and some of these challenges are what other economies, both developed and developing, are going through at the moment.
From the Minister of Budget and National Planning comes the assurance that government is working to avoid disruptions as it implements the 2024 budget.
Negotiations with the Nigerian Labour Congress has been ongoing to ensure that there is no further disruption in the economy. Interventions to support the vulnerable and the weak have been ongoing.
We have had negativities in the economy, and now we are trying to bring the positivities to work.
The lawmakers and policymakers re-echoed appeals to Nigerians to support government as it strategizes to keep the economy on track. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
Quest to recalibrate the service of a National Assembly for greater efficiency and effectiveness in legislative service delivery, top management and senior legislative aides of the Assembly are currently undergoing a 3-day orientation training. Joshua Ogunjide has more.
Building the capacity and enhancing the performance of legislative aides, the workshop is designed to equip participants with requisite skills, knowledge, and best practices to excel in their duties.
The next 3 days, you will engage with expert facilitators to share experience in various topics.
We firmly appreciate your fantastic sacrifices towards the advancement of National Assembly Service Commission.
Ensure that you will take a lot home from the rich faculties prepared by the consultants.
The goal is to enhance understanding of the legislative process, develop policy analysis and communication skills alongside fostering collaboration and innovation with provision of tools for effective legislative service delivery.
They also serve as the bridge between National Assembly and the constituencies across the Federation. Therefore, building their capacity in terms of lawmaking processes, in terms of the budget process, including other soft skills like emotional intelligence, leadership skills.
Now I know that we have the executive bills, which comes from the presidency, basically. We have the legislative bills, which comes from the members of the National Assembly themselves. Then you have the judiciary, and then we have the personal bills, and then body of interest bills.
These are the things we are very familiar with prior to now. But then, every day you learn.
I can now authoritatively even help others to understand how to come up with a bill in the National Assembly.
From the National Assembly, Joshua Ogujide, NTA News.
Up with a bill in the National Assembly.
From the National Assembly, Joshua Ogujide, NTA News.
And on a sad note, member of the House of Representatives, Ekene Abubakar Adams, is dead. He died in the early hours of today, Tuesday, at the age of 39. His death is coming less than a week after the loss of Representative Olaide Akinremi from Oyo State in the Green Chamber. Until his death, Ekene Adams represented Chilun Kajuru Federal Constituency of Kaduna State and was the chairman House Committee on Sports. He was given this position despite being a first-timer in the House for his pedigree in grassroots sports management. Adams was also one-time general manager of Remo Stars Football Club in Ogun State before contesting and winning the House of Reps election on the platform of the Labour Party in 2023. Confirming his death, House spokesman Akin Rotimi said Adams was a dedicated public servant, passionate sports administrator, and kind philanthropist who will be deeply missed by the Green Chamber. Representative Ekene Abubakar Adams becomes the fourth member to pass on in the life of the 10th House of Representatives. And moving on now, the Minister of State Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lokobiri, has again reiterated federal government's determination to step up crude production towards sustainable energy security and supply. Lydia Sampson has more on this.
A solidarity visit from the home front for Heineken Lokobiri is considered an accolade in the federal government's ongoing efforts towards transforming the petroleum sector, with their son playing a key role. Receiving the leaders from his constituency, led by Senator Henry Siriake Dixon, a former governor of Bayelsa State, Bayelsa West Senatorial District, the minister said it is heartwarming that achievements under the renewed hope administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is being acknowledged.
What is more important to me is, His Excellency Senator Dixon recognizing and thanking Mr. President for finding the only chairman in this cabinet. We have about 40-something ministers, but I'm the only chairman. Goes to show your leadership, as a senator representing at the highest political office holder in the senatorial district.
The people of Bayelsa South Senatorial District have expressed their commitment to partnering with the federal government in the key objective of ramping up crude oil production.
We are aware that you are about implementing a system that will promote transparency in our productions and sales. And I read about something you are doing that the President has approved for you to cap the gas flares in the Niger Delta. So we wish you the best.
They agreed that collaboration is vital towards achieving greater energy prosperity for Nigeria. Heineken Lokobiri says the visit has not only provided moral support, but assured him of the potential for even greater accomplishment, reinforcing the national determination to drive forward and achieve shared goals for the petroleum sector and beyond. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
Let's pause here now for some messages. See you soon.
The counsel of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation.
My advice to these young people is please do not take us back to those harrowing days. You probably do not know what it is.
I believe we have fought one civil war too many in this country. So those who experience it will run away from it.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Thank you for staying with us. As torrential rains nears its peak, the traumatic experiences of those living in flood-prone areas in Lagos have become a thorn in the flesh with tales of woe that accompanies every downpour. In this report, Joel Kwokwola takes a look at how residents of these areas are coping with the impact of flood, especially in the wake of a cholera outbreak.
Lagos is one of the epicenters of flooding during the rainy season and has had a fair share of this year's downpour. Rain is supposed to be a blessing, but for those living in flood-prone areas like Mojisola, who usually go through sleepless nights scooping water out of a room after every downpour, the situation is a sharp contrast.
Because of the canal, our canal is very blocked. So I'm just coming back now to go and clear the canal now so that the water can flow very well. We are waiting for the sun to rise so that we are going to pack everything outside and dry it.
Now that rain is at its peak, residents of flood-prone areas in Oronshoki are now abandoning their buildings for aquatic reptiles, toads and weeds.
Let government come and join hand. Come and help us. Even if to achieve something like gutter for us.
Like the saying, the rich also cry. Residents of Lekki and other eyebrow areas are also at the receiving end of the impact of the flood.
With the rains now in top gear, flood seems to have become a permanent enemy that has become a thorn in the flesh for residents of flood-prone areas in Lagos. Amidst the prediction of more consistent downpour by NIMET, residents of flood-prone areas are now living in palpable fear and anxiety, hoping the rains will go away as soon as possible.
For vulnerable areas like Agungi, this has become a reoccurring decimal, a situation they have been grappling with for years.
This road, whenever it rains, nobody goes out. The times we do even enter people's house and spoil things.
Because the road is a flood, so no customer access, so everywhere flood. So even some houses, the rain occupy the compound.
Although the Lagos State government promised to desilt drainage systems, particularly in Lekki and environs, residents want a permanent solution to end their woes. In Lagos, Joel Kwokwola, NTA News.
And joining us in the studio to shed more light on how to mitigate the impact of this year's rain and ensuring flooding is Dr. Chukwuma Omege. He is the second vice president of Nigerian Environmental Society. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Chukwuma.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Okay, now, you have seen that report, and we know what people are facing anytime it rains in Lagos. Now, the question now is how effective have various, flood management strategies been in Nigeria, and what lessons have been learned from past events?
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. To be honest, the government, especially the government of Lagos State, has really tried in terms of coming up with strategies to mitigate flooding in the state. Lots of funds has been invested in infrastructural development for flood mitigation. Then that takes us to how effective has this been.
Exactly.
To an extent, it's been effective to an extent. But again, if you look at some of the current happenings in the state, you may now begin to look at the effectiveness of the implementation of those strategies. And most times we point fingers at the government, but we at the individual level, we have roles to play, very, very important roles to play. The government will invest in infrastructure, construct drainages, spend millions of naira to get the drainage system, but we have a duty to ensure that these drainage systems are not blocked. There's been viral videos of people throwing refuse
in flooded
water into the drainages during rains. Is this the government? The government has provided the drainage systems. So the government has tried in their capacity, invested funds, have programs in place. But again, we at the individual level, we need to complement the role
of government. Okay, by properly disposing of all the refuse and not blocking the canals or the drainage. Drainages rather. Okay, now, why is disaster risk reduction crucial, particularly in terms of prevention?
Yeah, of course, in terms of, when you look at disaster management, the ultimate is to ensure that you have adequate risk mitigation measures to ameliorate the effect on people, the effect on natural resources, and so on and so forth. So it is very, very important that we have these strategies. And we know that these strategies exist. They have been implemented by different arms of government. But again, the implementation is where we still have some challenges. We all understand risk principles and so on and so forth. But the implementation is where we need to have more efforts.
We apologize for that break in transmission. Panorama will continue with me from Apanyi in Abuja. Now, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taurid Lagbaja Special Intervention Civil Military Cooperation Project has been described as a noble strategic initiative with high success rate which other organizations should emulate to improve the lives of people at the grassroots and enhance national development. This was at the inauguration of a 70,000-litre, 3 solar-powered industrial borehole executed by Major General Hilary Nzang at Alesi Community Income Local Government Area of Cross River State. Paul Abel completes the report.
This is Alesi Community in Income Local Government Area of Cross River State, and getting potable drinking water, especially in dry season, is a tug of war. But that is in the past now, with the inauguration of this solar-powered industrial borehole by the Chief of Army Staff, represented by the GOC 82 Division, Nigerian Army in Enugu.
The commissioning of this Special Intervention Civil Military Cooperation Project symbolizes the commitment of the Nigerian Army towards addressing the security challenges in our country through non-kinetic operations.
The project is aimed at supporting senior military officers of the Nigerian Army in execution of quick impact projects.
I must state that Major General Nzang's efforts are true reflections of the Nigerian Army's commitment to making a positive difference in the lives of people we serve.
This is indeed visionary, innovative, and creative leadership that we yearn for in our society.
Very, very happy for this project because I've never seen it
before.
This community shall benefit from this noble gesture of the Nigerian Army, courtesy of the Chief of Army Staff.
High point of the event was the conferment of chieftaincy title on the Chief of the Army Staff for being a leader of the people through his model of executing project, which is building confidence among the communities, their senior military officers, and the Nigerian Army. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
The present administration is poised to engage Nigerian youth in leadership roles to bring fresh perspectives, energy and innovative ideas to the country. Special Assistant to the President on Delivery and Monitoring Youth Initiative, Titilokpe Badumosi, re-echoes this at the Renewed Hope Youth Engagement Forum with youth groups and other stakeholders in Katsina. Suleiman Kodogi has the details.
The engagement is a nationwide initiative that provides opportunity to rub minds with APC youths on the successes so far recorded and the way forward. It is equally aimed at giving the Nigerian youths a sense of belonging by promoting youth inclusion in governance.
The government understands your pains. The government knows where the shoe pinches you, and that is why we are here. But we are almost there, and that is why it is a process of healing that we are on. And by God's grace, inshallah, we will smile at the end of the day.
The main stakeholders in this government, that's why we have ministers, lots of appointees that are under 40. And then also this to interact with the youth support groups to find out how far the government has gone, of their expectations. Are we in line? What are the things that we are doing that is not right? And then how can we also improve what we're doing?
Other speakers comment the initiative, describing it as the best way to change the fortunes of youths in the country.
They should see how they can channel our communication, our issues that we raise here to the appropriate channel.
It has been established that this is a youth-friendly government. It has changed so many wrongs.
The Renewed Hope Youth Engagement is expected to hold across the country. In Katsina, Suleiman Kodogi, NTA News.
And up next on Panorama is Sports Update.
Nigeria's Super Falcons are set to play reigning Olympic champions Canada in a preparatory game Wednesday. The team is currently camped in Sevilla, Spain in preparation for the upcoming Olympic Games later this month. This is Super Falcons' first appearance at the Olympics since 2008, and they'll be looking forward to make an impact at the competition this time, even though they are in the same group with Brazil, Japan and Spain, who are all in top 10 in FIFA rankings. Both teams met in the last FIFA World Cup in 2023, and Nigeria ran out with a 1-1 draw in a game dominated by Canada. The Nigerian ladies will play their first game at the Olympics against Brazil on the 25th of July. In table tennis, Nigeria's Aruna Quadri and Egypt's Omar Azal have been seeded among the top 16 players for the men's singles table tennis event at the Paris 2024 Olympic Games, reflecting their status as leading contenders in the sport. Aruna, ranked 19th in the world, made history as the first African to reach the quarterfinals at the Olympics. Both players will begin their campaign from the second round on July 28th at the South Paris Arena. In handball, matches continue Tuesday in Benin City at the ongoing 2024 National Division 1 League at the Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium amongst over 20 teams. 4 teams from the men and women categories will gain promotion to the Andover Handball Premier League 2025. In tennis, former champion Rafael Nadal's preparation for the upcoming 2024 Paris Olympics has kicked off at the Nordic Open in Bastard. The Spaniard has teamed up with Casper Ruud for the doubles and will also play singles. The 38-year-old has been dealing with injuries since last year, which kept him out of action for a long time. With Sports Update, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
And that's it on Panorama. We thank you for being a part of it. My name is Frama Panyi. Have a blessed day.
We explore the timeless wisdom of Nigerian proverbs.
Proverbs are palm oil with which words are written. Kola nuts last long in the mouths of those that values it. He who thinks is leading when no one follows is just taking the walk. No matter how hot.
Created in 1938, Garamba National Park is a national park in the northeastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, covering nearly 5,200 kilometers square and encompassing vast grass savannas and woodlands interspersed with gallery forests and marshland decorations in the transition zone between the dense tropical forests of the Congo Basin and the Guinea-Sudano savannas. The park, which lies at an elevation between 700 and 1,065 meters, consists of an extensive plateau and marshland decorations dotted with incel barks made largely of granite. It is among Africa's oldest parks and was designated a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1980 for its protection of critical habitat for northern white rhinoceroses, African elephants, hippopotamus, and giraffes. In fact, it houses the last worldwide population of the northern white rhinoceros, endemic subspecies of Congolese giraffe, and a mixed population of elephants combining forest elephants, bush elephants, and individuals demonstrating morphological characteristics common to the two elephant subspecies, giving tourists real value for their visits. The park is also characterized by an exceptionally high level of biomass of great herbivores as a result of the vegetation productivity of the environment, extending over 490,000 hectares and surrounded by 752,700 hectares of tree hunting grounds that contribute to an effective protection of the property against threats from the adjacent area, making Garamba an outstanding sanctuary with its unusual mix of large spectacular mammals. In addition to the rhinoceros and giraffe, the purely savannical species found in the park include the lion, the spotted hyena, and numerous species of antelope, as well as the species typical of the forest such as the bongo, the forest hog, the chimpanzee, and 5 species of small diurnal primates. This unique park also supports a variety of bird life, harboring over 340 species of birds such as colored red and blue carmine bee-eater, heron, wattle plovers, black crake, knob-billed ducks, long-tailed cormorants, white-backed pelicans, pink-backed pelicans, spur-winged plovers, and many more. Garamba National Park can be visited all year round, but it is during the dry season, that is January to June, that travelers are most encouraged to visit, for the roads are more passable and game viewing better, occasioned by less thick vegetation which could hinder proper viewing of wildlife. Be part of the wonderful experience as you visit.
Female genital mutilation is any partial or total removal of the female genitalia for non-medical reason. FGM inflicts lifelong injuries on women and their female children. It constitutes a violation.
This is the network service of the NTA.